Thursday, October the 19th, 2017 to you. And finally, the 19th National Congress of the Communist Party of China opened its sessions yesterday at the Great Hall of the People in Beijing. The Congress will elect the new leadership of the party, including 3/4 of the Politburo Standing Committee, the top decision-making body. Many Western analysts are speculating whether President Mr. Xi Jinping could seek to extend his tenure beyond 2022. In my humble opinion, I believe that Mr. Xi is not interested to have that debate, not in this moment at least. Instead, I think that Mr. Xi, who also holds the office of Secretary General, is more focused on his legacy. To wit, China's transformation into an economy based on internal consumption and a stronger non-tradable sector. In other words, letting China reap the fruits of enduring years of exporting labor-intensive goods and being a net global creditor. There are two substantial features in Chinese mindset we Westerns usually fail to take into account. First, Chinese people has a long-term perspective. Secondly, they pursue harmony more often than we do in the West. This China, however, is entering into a stage of development unseen throughout its 5,000 years history. For the very first time, there is a Chinese middle class. Also, China is becoming an outward power in a global world. Beneath our assumption about Mr. Xi's eventual extended tenure, it may lie a deep admiration towards China's economic success. This is why I got so perplexed when I read an editorial published by state-owned news agency Xinhua titled "Enlightened Chinese Democracy Puts the West in the Shade," that praised China's example of stable rule in the face of cow-swamping Western liberal democracies. The very title left me baffled. No Chinese journalist would have thought to coin a Chinese democracy term, say, 2 decades ago. Secondly, as I was reading that article, I felt that I was not part of its audience. I noticed that the editorial was addressed to Chinese readers instead. Of course, Chinese official press has the right to extol the political system, but I have seldom read Chinese journalism attacking the alternative. Why should Chinese communism be so enthusiastically defended? Against whom? Is China's political system weaker than we imagine here? Needless to say, I do not want to become communist. And you? Nevertheless, there are two issues we should learn from China. First and foremost, we Westerners ought to be more focused on harmony. We have forgotten to have a long-term strategic reasoning, at least in our social and political spheres. Secondly, we should be less afraid of leadership. A leader is not a boss. It takes a lot of experience to become one. Like Chinese themselves usually say, teachers open the door, you enter by yourself. Enter by yourself, China. The world is still on.